I was thinking about this earlier today and I thought I'd share. Um, Lately, I've been getting asked a few questions from people, not necessarily my clients, but just people in general who know that I am a life coach, and sometimes they follow my work and they look on my website, just snooping, as I like to call it. But they'll say to me, like, Coach Valerie, what is the shadow blueprint? What is that? How is that different from the regular life coaching? And I thought today, I'd make a video about that. So let me just talk to y'all about it. Just real talk about what my shadow blueprint is, because I mention it to you all the time. So sometimes when I'm coaching others or just in general conversation, I hear people say they're doing the work. They're showing up, doing sessions, they're reading books, they're journaling, they're trying to shift the mindset, trying to break habits, and it just feels like, they just keep ending up in the same place. And I concur. I felt that way too. Same patterns, same situations, different people, same energy, and I couldn't figure out why, right? Well, like I said, I've been that person. I lived the frustration that some of y'all think that way. I thought it. Sometimes I still think it, but not as much, and I'll tell you why. But I kept asking myself, why do I keep attracting the same circumstances no matter what I do and no matter how hard I work on myself? And I just couldn't figure it out, right? Until I started looking at the shadow. Now, you may be asking me, what the heck is the shadow? Well, the shadow is basically the part of you that lives underneath. Okay, it's hidden. It's in the dark parts. Those are the things that are wired in you that you may not be fully aware of. At least for me, I wasn't fully aware of. And these are the patterns and behaviors that run in the background like an app, and you forgot that you left it open, and it's just draining your battery, and you don't even realize it, right? And here's the thing. A lot of the traditional approaches to personal growth. Now, I'm not knocking any of them, okay? Because I'm still a coach, but they work from the surface down, and the shadow blueprint goes underneath it, okay? Sometimes what is blocking you is not what you think until you see it clearly. So when you don't know what's blocking you, you can't address it. And that's why you have to get into the crevices and look in the shadows. What worked for somebody else may not genuinely be right for you. That's not the approach you need to take. And that is not anything bad on your part. It's just how everybody's just built differently. Now, I know astrology is not everybody's thing. Some of you are like, wait a minute, what? Yes, I'm about to talk about astrology, and I completely respect that. So stick with me for a second, because I want to explain how I use it and why it actually makes sense, even if you are a skeptic. Okay. So when I started researching, all of this a few years back, I was truly blown away, guys, because the birth chart, sometimes people say the natal chart, but it's based on the date and the time, the location of when you were born. It maps out tendencies and patterns and the shadow size, like what I'm talking about, in a way that is very genuinely specific to you. It's not generic. It's not a one size fits all type of thing. And when you look at a calendar, just think about this. A lot of times you'll hear things like, oh, it's a full moon outside, or it's a new moon, it's a crescent moon. Farmers have used lunar cycles for planting crops for centuries, guys. Centuries. They may not call it astrology, but they understand that timing and energy in the atmosphere affects the outcome of the ground. So it's the same principle. And when I started applying this to my own life, I finally started understanding things about myself that years of doing other work had not unblocked for me. And I learned that I carried what I call a polarizing energy, which is a strong, confident, self-directed presence that I did not even fully understand myself until I saw it in my chart. And that's when I learned why I communicate the way I do and how that lands differently for different people. I am not changing who I am by knowing this information, but I understand it, and it changed everything about how I choose to move in certain circumstances, And most importantly, I finally understood why certain approaches to growth were just not landing for me. My shadow was literally showing me that method is not built for you. That's not how you wired, Val. That's not for you. Here's what actually is going to work for you. And that's what I found out. That's when things started shifting for me. So in the shadow blueprint coaching that I offer, excuse me, I actually go into your birth chart specifically to map out your shadow side. I look at the patterns that keep showing up in your life. I share that with you. I look at what's showing up in your relationships, your career, and how you actually show up in spaces and how people receive you. And we build a personalized roadmap around your specific wiring. That's it. You got to forgive me, guys. I'm a little nasally today. My voice probably doesn't even sound the same, but just hang in here with me. But yeah, this is all the plan that I build around. Is your framework. And like I said, I build it around who you actually are underneath everything else. And y'all, we are living in a season right now where a lot of things are being exposed. People's true character is showing up in ways that are hard to ignore. That energy right there, that's who they've always been. It's just more visible now. And a lot of us are feeling it. We're feeling it in the relationships, our workplaces. I know for me in my workspace, the mask, they done took those things off and threw them in the trash, honey. The masks are off, But yeah, we're seeing it. We're seeing it everywhere. We're seeing it even in our own emotional responses to things. How we respond. It's even in us. We're feeling everything is being exposed. And here's what I want you to remember, though. When we point at what everybody else is doing, we have to also want to realize what it is that we're doing. We're like, oh yeah, they're this, they're that. We are also being stretched in this season. We are also having hard days and having moments where our own shadow is getting activated. And that is what I want you to be settled with on this. Now, the question is, are you willing to look at it though? Because that is where your breakthrough is. So, yep, that's what was on my heart today. That's what I want to tell you guys about. And if you've been doing the work and you still feel like something is missing, I just want you to sit with that curiosity for a second, everything that I just said, and then ask yourself, what if there is a layer I have not looked at yet that I have the potential to see? And that is what the Shadow Blueprint is designed to help you uncover. So if you're ready to do it, let me know. All of my information, I'm going to link all of the session stuff right below in the comments. And of course, that lives in the description. So yeah, come see what your chart says about you. I think you will be surprised. I know you will be surprised. Always remember, it's not rejection, it's alignment. I'm Coach Valerie, and I'll talk to you later.